If fear is the only thing stopping us from achieving our dreams, and we only fear what we don't understand, then the antidote to fear is knowledge. All we have to do is find out who has the knowledge that we need to conquer our fears and achieve our entrepreneurial dreams. My name is Callum Walker, and welcome to the podcast that will help you figure it out and conquer this lonely entrepreneurial journey. Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast. It happened. If you listened to the last episode, I did mention that there is a slight negative with being ketogenic. It's a negative and a positive. This ended up being a negative. I'm fucking wired. I am so wired. And I didn't sleep. Last night, so for fuck's sake, like my mind has decided, I know the best time to come out with the latest, greatest, groundbreaking idea. 2 a.m. I'm like, oh, fuck off. Let me sleep. So but then the positive to it is that because you feel wired, even if you are in a sleep deprived state, it doesn't really kind of like knock you for six too much, but it's just quite frustrating because I haven't got that sort of like restorative sleep. But I also think that's probably part and parcel of just the sort of stage that I'm in right now, which is, a lot of mentally demanding work right now, which is excellent. And that's why I'm on a ketogenic diet, but it happened. So, look, what I would say is kind of like off the back of what I was talking about last episode, is that if you really do want to level up your creative ability, your mental capacity, your cognitive function, all of that sort of stuff, really to kind of, coincide with working really hard and working on mentally demanding tasks, I would definitely go through a ketogenic stint. Absolutely. It makes things so much easier. You have clarity of thought, your ability to make decisions from more of a logical perspective over an emotional point of view, massively heightened. But like I said, there's a couple of downfalls to it. Most people just see the downfall as, I can't have pizza. I'm like, well, you can't do that if you're eating well in general anyway. So missing out on the carbs can be quite challenging for most people, but I'm so used to it anyway. But I think the biggest downfall is maybe just feeling in an activated state pretty constantly. That's how I feel. One of my coaches on my elite program, we stuck her through a ketogenic stint, and I was like, right, okay, we're going to go through this because it's going to enhance your cognitive performance and all that sort of stuff. So she went through that, and she was like, yeah, I feel wired. So yeah, I'd give it a go, definitely, especially if you're, you really feel like a bit of brain fog, that things are just hard, things are just mentally quite challenging and taxing. I'd definitely do that. But today, what I want to go through is something that could give you peace of mind. So just to kind of give you a bit of background, basically, that as you all know, currently in this sort of like the stage that I'm at right now, I'm building my membership. I'm building something that's going to pay me back in the long run. Which then means that what I've done is I've cut off any form of route of new business coming in right now. So I'm like, right, all of my time, energy, and effort needs to be spent on delivering the best possible service to my elite guys, but then also making my next level coach program as amazing as it can possibly be. So I'm currently in that sort of stage. Now, the thing that's allowing me to be okay with my income not increasing is what's the worst case scenario? And I feel like, let's say you're in a position where you're building something and you're in the building phase and you're going through that sort of like delayed gratification process of going, right, I'm going to almost like stop taking in loads of clients because I'm going to work on something that's going to pay me back in the long run. What's the worst case scenario that you're going to have to revert back to? So what I've kind of done and ran through my mind, which is, what would I do if I needed to get 10 grand into the business? Well, I've been selling high ticket programs. I say higher ticket programs for the past few years anyway. So for me, if I needed to go and get 10 grand, I'd go and sell a 10 grand product. Pretty simple. Make one sale. Even if I had a 10% close rate, that's 10 conversations and one person signs up. 10 conversations for 10 grand. Yeah, I'll do it. So that puts my mind at ease. Again, I wouldn't be satisfied with that, and I probably wouldn't go about it that way. I'd want to get 4 in. But that's my worst case scenario. Now, I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm saying that because I'm like, okay, cool. If that's my worst case scenario, then everything's actually okay. I can continue doing this until it gets to that point where I'm like, right, I need to go and get some cash in. I'll go and do that. So it kind of comes back to what I was talking about the other day, briefly about there's a season for reaping, a season for sowing. So right now, I'm sowing my oats, I'm planting the seeds. And if necessary, I needed to get some crops in. I know how to go to the supermarket and where to go. Go and sell my 10 grand product. Now that's great, Cal, but I don't have a 10 grand product. I get it. So let's say I was an online coach or a PT and I was like, right, I really need to get 10 grand in. What would I do? So that's what I'm going to talk to you about on this episode. Just a few things that I would do to be able to do this. But again, just kind of before I go into that, I just want to, lay a few foundations as to how I'm going about doing this with my own clients. So with my Guys Up by Elite program. So as you know, I'm in Russell Brunson's mentorship. I've been in his coaching program for, I think it's like 10 weeks now. Yeah, 10 weeks. Yeah, so I've been in his program for 10 weeks. And yeah, so basically what they do, which is really cool, they do these things called sprints. So effectively what happens is that they have a very clear, like, step-by-step process on everything that you need to do in order to, like, kind of get the end result that you need to get to. So I'm just tweaking my my headphones. Cool. I'm always conscious when I'm doing this walk that I've got my noise cancellation on. And if I'm, like, screaming, because I feel like I probably am. Like, I've just had a few people look at me. Because I record this as I go on a walk, as you know. But anyway, come back to it. So I'm in Russell's program, and effectively what we kind of do is that there's a step-by-step process of everything that you need to do to get to the end result. Which means that you're just working on one thing at a time. So when I first came in, they were like, right, okay, the first thing that you need to do is work on your membership site. So you've got to create your membership. So what they did was that they put me in this thing called a sprint. So they basically said, look, it should take you about 4 weeks to put your membership site together. And what we're going to do is we're going to put you in a separate group with everyone else who's also working on their membership. And we're going to assign you to the coach who specializes in memberships, who was Coach Quincy. So that was pretty cool. So then what happened was that, like, the first call of that first 4 weeks was basically like, okay, cool. These are the primary things that you need to do to nail your membership site. And we're going to do this at week 1. Then you're going to do this at week 2. Then at week 3, you're going to do this. And then at week 4, you're going to do this. So within the overall step-by-step process, they then put me into step 1 and then gave me a step-by-step process of what to do within step 1, which was really good because it just allowed me to take advantage of the principle of concentration, so that I could just concentrate my effort on answering one question, which is how can I create the most amazing membership site in the next 4 weeks? And then after that, I then went into the next sprint with a new coach working on the most incredible free gift ever. Which is a pretty incredible free gift, I must say, that I've put together. It's really, really good. So my point with that, I was like, right, okay, do you know what? I found that really useful. And I reckon, how can I weave that into my program? So I made the decision that in my elite program, that we're going to go through this thing called a sprint. So I'm going to do a sprint, which is 4 weeks, where we're basically going to answer the question, how can I get 10 grand into my business in the next 4 weeks? So basically I'm just finalizing, like, the outlay of exactly what I would go about doing. I'm going to briefly kind of explain a few things on exactly what you can do today. But yeah, so we're basically like at week 1, where we're going to do, we're going to basically just like outlay the whole thing. So this is exactly what's going to happen. And then these are the things that we're going to work on. So we're going to work on this, then we're going to work on this, then we're going to work on this, and then this and this and this and this. So yeah, so that's going to be really fun. One other thing that's going to be really fun is that like our next weekend, so, you know, on a quarterly basis, we have a success weekend. Everyone comes down and we all work together. And I was like, right, okay. Do you know, it'd be really, really easy. Instead of me just delivering like a 1-hour call, it'd be great for me to actually be there and like work on it with everyone else. So I was like, well, do you know what? I'm going through my launch process for my next level coach membership. And at this sort of times, I was like, right, okay, this sprint ties in really nicely with me kind of going on my own sprint from a launch capacity. I can share some of the stuff that I've learned with my guys. And then also they can kind of build it with me. So I was like, right, okay, do you know what? At week 2 in the sprint, what we're going to do is all come down to my office in Birmingham on a Saturday, come in as early as you want and leave as late as you want. Because I'm probably going to be there till about 2 in the morning. Just laying the foundation and building everything out. So yeah, so that's really cool. Because that like, you know, means that I can kind of build my business with my clients at the same time. I can get their ideas and that's going to be awesome. But coming back to it, what would I do if I needed to get 10 grand in as an online coach or a personal trainer? Well, what I would do is I would run a 4 or 6 week program. I'd run it as like a challenge. It's like a 4-week challenge or a blitz or whatever you want to call it. And I would label it as lose 10 pounds in the next 4 weeks or your money back. And I would do it like that. Because first of all, I have absolute complete clarity and certainty in my own ability that if someone came onto a program I delivered, they would definitely lose 10 pounds in 4 weeks if they followed what I say. So I'm that confident I would give you your money back. I would charge that about 500 quid. Very, very clear on the result. Very clear. Like you're going to lose 10 pounds in the next 4 weeks, minimum, or your money back. But you have to follow everything. So then I would put together an insane offer for that. So I do it in a group format. I do it all online, but if you're a PT, you could do it in a group format with exercise, like at your own studio, and I'd combine online stuff where like what you would get is you get a nutritional guide, so you know exactly what you need to eat throughout the whole process. You get a load of recipes. So this is what I'm kind of putting with all of my guys. Then you're also going to get a training program of exactly what you need to do. You've got specific workouts for each day of the week that you're actually going to be training. We'll have a weekly accountability webinar. We'll also have like some guest experts in. So my guys get access to our in-house nutritionist, which is me, who's going to deliver a call. And really, I would just put together that primary program, specifically providing them the result. I would put an insane offer together, which is just too good to be true. Now, when it comes to the offer is the result. So, you know, people would definitely pay 500 quid to lose 10 pounds if it's guaranteed. They would do that. And why 4 weeks? Because my purpose would be to provide them with a result quickly, but also a result where they're like, okay, I believe in this person. I also believe in their method. It actually works for me, but I haven't been given enough tools to fully carry this on for the rest of my life. So do you know what that does? That then means, there are future problems that I can see coming up in the long run. And that's where you swoop in and you're like, hey, you've been here before. You've been here before. You've lost this weight. You've seen you can lose weight. But I've got a program for you, which you're going to come on to next, which is 6 or 12 months, which is the last time you're ever going to lose weight. All of these principles that we've done over the last 4 weeks, like that you've shown to yourself you can lose weight. You really enjoyed it. Now, the key thing is that we're going to work on the next 6 to 12 weeks of actually putting this into practice so you never have to do it again, ever. And I guarantee you upsell them onto something like a between 2 and 5 grand program, they'll do it. So if you've got 20 people to come into the program, and even if only 10% of them actually converted. So if only 2 of them, well, you know, if you had 20 people on a £500 program, there's 10 grand in itself. But let's say you did it at 250 quid, that's 5 grand. But then if you only had 2 people come onto a between 2 and 5 grand program, you know, there's an extra 4 to 10 grand. That's just 2 people out of 20. You're going to get more than that. So that's what I would do. So then your question just needs to be that, like, okay, if the end goal is to pitch someone onto a 6 or 12 month program that's going to be between 2 and 5 grand, and all I actually have to do is get 20 people onto a 4-week thing at £500. That's 100% easy. How do you really, really do that? Lead magnets. Like a lead magnet. It's so easy. Because what a lead magnet kind of is, when someone downloads it, is them putting their hand up saying, I want this result and I'm specifically struggling with this problem. So let's say if I was an online coach and I wanted to bring people into my business and I wanted to generate some leads, I would put something on my stories. I'd be like, hey, every single day, hey, are you currently finding that you've hit a weight loss plateau and you have absolutely no idea why? Okay, so you've explained the problem to begin with. So you have no idea why. And all you've heard from people is you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not in a calorie deficit, you got to eat less, move more. But you've tried all of that. You've been to Weight Watchers, Slimming World, you've tried PTs, other coaches, and they've all told you the same thing, that it's your fault. Well, I've got 5 reasons why you're not losing weight right now, that if you just action one of these 5 things, you'll begin to break through that plateau. And it is in this specific guide. By the way, not a single one of them has anything to do with calories. Nothing to do with exercise and nothing to do with calories. Like, pop that in there, someone will definitely download that. But when they download that, what they're actually doing is putting their hand up saying, I'm currently not losing weight and I really want to know why I'm not, because I've tried all of these things. So then when it comes to your course is basically, hey, I'm going to show you how to lose 10 pounds without counting calories, tracking your macros, and exercising like a lunatic. So I'm not saying the lead magnet is automatically going to get them to come onto your program, but what you can easily do is do a couple of things. So first of all, let's say someone downloads that lead magnet. They then go to a thank you page. So the thank you page that basically says, hey, thank you so much for downloading this. It's in your inbox. It'll be there in 5 minutes. Okay. And then what I would do is this one key thing. Hey, before you go and while you're waiting, watch this video. Watch this video. So it's a 5-minute video of you basically explaining to them why it's not their fault, briefly mentioning your 4-week program and say, hey, jump on a call. Jump on a call, jump on a call. So you get them onto a call and then you can then sell them the 4-week program. Now, if they ignore that, what they then do is that because you've got their email address, you then run them through an email sequence. So like 5 days, you can do that through MailChimp or whatever email software, that is basically telling a story, but at the end of every email, you're driving them, hey, book a call, book a call, book a call, book a call. Okay. Now, even if they don't book that call, what you can then do is you'll be able to find these people through Instagram or social media. And that's how you should use the DM as a follow-up, that someone's effectively giving you permission to engage in them when they've downloaded the lead magnet, because they've parted with their actual details, as opposed to just cold DMing some random stranger. So when someone downloads the lead magnet, then you swoop into the DM. You say, hey, how did you get on with the lead magnet? And you just have the conversation. You go, hey, come on the call. Come on, let's book a call. I got this thing, book a call. Hey, I got this thing, book a call. Now, even if that doesn't work, what you can then do is using Facebook and with ads, you can then retarget these guys. So you can use retargeting ads. So basically, you can advertise, book a call with me if you want to lose 10 pounds in the next 28 days. Just solely to people who downloaded your lead magnet. So then, again, you'll definitely get some people who will put their hand up and go, hey, yeah, I'm interested. Okay. Now, even if none of those work, you then get to the real secret to how you will actually grow your business, which is your email newsletter. Okay? Most people are saying, oh, email marketing, like no one reads them. Doesn't matter.